let's go right to him because he's our insider. He's everybody's insider. NFL Network's own Mike Garafolo on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Mikey G, the Ravens is wild. They just signed Hendrickson after reneging on the trade to Maxx Crosby.
What are you saying, Ant? What are you saying?
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Yeah. Make sense of it.
They didn't like what they saw in their physical last night with Trey Hendrickson. Not Trey Hendrickson, with Maxx Crosby. I mean, as soon as that happened, we got word that they were pivoting toward and everybody's like, oh, look, I said they were going to sign Trey Hendrickson. Congratulations to all of Twitter for seeing that this is the way that it was going to go. Great job, everybody. All right, relax.
I tweeted that out.
There you go. See, everybody had it. Boy, Greg. Yeah, it's they what I can't figure out, and I've talked to GMs about this today and last night and today. When you do a deal, like the deal was done Friday. Conversations were before that, leading up to Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, last night. Okay, so 5 days. There, you're getting opinions, not opinion. You're getting information about the injury. Like, you can send us your scans. Let's take a look at it, and then you do your own. That's fine. Like that's so. The evaluation as it goes on before that, like what did you see differently with your scans versus those scans, and like that's going to be not going to be it is the question here through the whole process, but. The opinions are split. The opinions are split. I mean, and nobody knows because their own doctor hadn't negotiated or hadn't evaluated him. And if they had, they would have their own opinion. So I can't go ask the GM of the Colts or Bills, who's really not involved here. I mean, they're hearing things.
Right.
And a GM say, yeah, we heard it's a bad surgery. Okay, great. You heard it's a bad surgery. You don't know.
Right.
So you don't know what you would do in that situation. And Baltimore's doctor is apparently notorious for, I don't like what I see.
Wow.
So, but it's also hard to do this. And we talked about this. I highlighted Rappaport's report from Super Bowl Sunday, which was by now he's not going to have medical clearance, which is why that day, and I said to him, I'm like, we talked about it. I said, there's no way it's going to last until the draft. He says, no, I think that's when the deal's probably more likely to get done, because there'll be more medical clarity. And I said, but teams aren't going to wait. They have to do, which is how it played out, right? Like you got to do it now, because now's when the money's available. Now's when the draft capital is available. Like, you've got to budget everything. So that's why, despite it being early in the process, the Ravens pushed through that, and other teams were willing to push through that and say, let's get the deal done now. But the problem is, when it comes time for the medical evaluation, you're not far enough down the line to have a clearer picture of what's going on. Even Elatrash is saying that in his statement that he released this morning. So it's a tough situation. Nobody can say from afar how they would have handled it because they're not in that situation. The Ravens made a call, and that's where we are.
So what happens with the Raiders in the cap, right? Because they go sign all those players, and then they're going to keep Max, or are they still going to move them? Like, what happens there?
I mean, they're going to circle back here, and the cap wise, they're going to be okay. I don't sense that there's going to be an issue there. And look, you got a couple of days to figure this out. With regard, my question for them is more not the cap but the spend, right? Because that's a place that's kept the purse strings tight. In fact, they had to spend the last couple of days to get to the minimum spend, right? There's a salary cap and there's a floor as well. That was negotiated back in 2011 and is part of the collective bargaining agreement. So they had to get to that. So that's why they were like, great, let's just throw bags of money and spend like drunken sailors on Tyler Linderbaum. Would that deal have looked different if they still had Max? Yes, I believe it would have. And in the end, would they have landed him? I don't know. That's up to Linderbaum and stuff that we can't answer at this point. Now, they're going to honor that agreement. It's going to continue to push forward, but it just changed everything. Like, the ripple effect of this whole thing is just fascinating, really.
It really is. I mean, they go sign the Kobe Dean, right? Like, the Quay Walker. Like, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's like the whole thing's wild.
Yeah, it is. It is. And now what do you do with Max? Because listen, he said all the right things on his way out. So he can certainly go back. And, the fan base, there were some fans I saw that were upset. with oh, you lied to us and this and that. He can say like, this wasn't me. They traded me.
Right, right.
They wanted to move in a certain direction. I said, okay, well, he can massage that. I'm not worried about that part. It's just a question of the move was made because they weren't ready to compete. And does he now look at it and say, well, Ravens are out, Cowboys are out. This also, and just this is just me, myself, right?
Sure.
This is like flashing the bat signal in the sky for Howie, right? Because now you can
Yes.
come in and get creative. Now you
Yes.
can, and they were in it. I mean, they had conversations with the Raiders, so it's not like this is going to come out of left field,
Right.
right? They can re-engage here, and you've got your own situation with AJ that you've got to try to get creative about. So this is like doubly creative. This is the kind of stuff that Howie seems to live for. So I'm sure there have been and will be conversations to figure out if there's something that they can do here. Now, what's the compensation, right? Because now you've got, and this will be part of the leverage, I guess, any other team that engages the Raiders has. He's got a failed physical, right? So we're not going 2 first-round picks. We may not even go 1 first-round pick. Right. So this is all, again, ripple effects and something that's got to play out over the course of days or weeks here.
But you're so right, because this is Howie's bailiwick. This is where he's shines. Get creative, deal maker. That's what he is. He's a deal maker. There was a report that the Eagles were interested in Trey Hendrickson.
They were, yeah.
Right. So I heard that they couldn't afford Hendrickson and re-sign and extend Jalen Carter. So I was told that, they didn't expect to land Hendrickson because they couldn't afford that and extend Carter.
Yeah, well, that's why. I mean, listen, it's all. Right? Is it Carter, or is it something like you got to pull from somewhere else, right? And I understand that. But it was okay. It's his market isn't what he thought it was. Let's see if we can get him on a lower number, right? Like that's what you do. I mean, that's why they did the 1-year deal with Reek Woolen, because it's like his market wasn't what he thought.
Right.
So let's get in here and hey, you come play for us for a year. You play well. It's a great system. You fit what we do. We got 3 terrific corners, right? It's only going to help you set your market up for later while helping us in the short term. It's like create. So that's what Howie does a lot, is like, okay, the market isn't where it was. Let's see if we can come in at a lower number and lure them here, because we've got a winning football team. We've got a really good, in that case, defense. So it's sort of like that with Crosby now, and it was sort of like that with Hendrickson as well. So that's once I heard that I thought it was going down yesterday. I really did. I thought the Eagles were signing Hendrickson yesterday, and frankly, well, we were getting a little bit of that buzz.
Yeah,
but the timing of it, now that I piece it all together, because this Ravens thing played out over the entire afternoon,
right?
And I'm the timing of it now that I'm thinking like the Ravens must have pivoted around that time, and that changed the whole landscape of everything. Because I know the Colts were in it as well, but they're trying to get Daniel Jones done first. So it's almost like it was a race, and it just lined up perfectly for Hendrickson to go to Baltimore. And by the way, when I say that I thought they were signing him, it was like all of a sudden I started to hear these things. It's not like they were on the verge of an agreement. I was just saying, I can see where this is potentially going here, and I thought that maybe they were going to close it out.
Things would align. Hendrickson's
yeah.
value
but they were definitely
would drop. You have to go.
Conversations. Yeah.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. All right. Yeah. So where do they go here with edge? Because they still need an edge, right? So if you have Maxx on one side, now you got, like you said, you got to be real creative. Or is it one of the lesser guys that they would look at? Like we've talked about the names, Leonard Floyd,
Grenard.
Well, so Grenard is the guy I want to get to, because he fits the Eagles really well. Like he fits Vic's system, and like, I don't know what you have to give up to get him. And what would the deal that you would have to kind of extend him, right? And what would you have to pay him?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be certainly much less than. I mean, he had 2 seasons back to back of double digits, and then last year was a down year. I think he played only 12 games too as well. So it would be a much lower number than what you're seeing from these guys. So, trying to see here. Sorry.
I love this.
Um, yeah, they
Mike's
got
getting the text.
well, they're moving.
Mike's phone's on fire. There's flames coming out of it.
Yeah, no, they're moving me up. I got to get up. I got to get up in a little bit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's all, and then what are they going to wind up doing with him? I mean, do you have to trade for him? A lot. That's what's happening with a lot of these guys. Like, are they going to wind up cutting some of these guys here? We know they want to trade them, so they got to pivot to that kind of stuff today. So it's not. Hassan Reddick is still out there as well. That would be a lot lower than the price was on him before, but you can get some production there. So they're going through all these guys, all these possibilities. They were aiming for the top of the market. Let me just, because I got to go. So,
I know. AJ, tell me about AJ.
yeah.
Anything before you go? AJ, anything happening there?
That's not, in the words of Rocky Balboa, I ain't hear no bell. Okay, Ant? I didn't hear no bell. I'm not declaring that dead yet. I am not. No, I am not.
Are there other suitors, you think, besides New England?
I still think it's New England. But I mean, listen, I thought of it myself. Not myself. I didn't thought of it myself. I thought to myself when this went down last night, okay, if I'm the Ravens, I got these picks and this money back. What? You just sign Trey Hendrickson. Maybe use those picks. Now, there's money, too, involved with AJ. It's not just the picks, but why not try to go explore that as well? But no, I still think the most likely destination would be the Patriots, despite their deal for Romeo Doubs that they did. I'm not declaring this one dead, Ant. We still got how many hours to the start of the league year? 3 and 4. They got 7 hours to the start of the league year. TBD. It ain't over yet.
Okay. All right. You hear something, let us know. We'll be following you.
Yeah.
We'll be watching you, the whole thing. You're the greatest, brother. Thanks, pal.
You got it, pal. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There he is, Mikey G, hot off the presses.